Something big just happened in North Africa, and it's the kind of story that could reshape the continent's future. But you probably didn't hear much about it on the evening news. In a quiet industrial town on Morocco's Atlantic coast, a brand new $2 billion factory has just come online. It's not for cars, oil, or even rare minerals. This factory is now producing the heart of the electric revolution lithium-ion battery materials, and this marks a significant moment not just for Morocco, but for Africa's role in the global green energy race. Today, we're diving into the powerful move made by a Sino-Moroccan partnership, COBCO, and how it might just place Morocco at the centre of the electric vehicle supply chain. We're going to unpack what exactly this plant is producing, why Morocco is attracting billions in battery investments, and what all of this means for the future of Africa, its economy, and its place on the global stage. Before we jump in, if you find stories like this eye-opening or thought-provoking, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and drop your thoughts in the comments. This isn't just news, it's a glimpse into a transformation that's quietly unfolding. So, what exactly is going on in Jorf Lasfar? That's a port city located about 125 kilometers south of Casablanca, best known for its industrial activity and major shipping terminals. Now it's making headlines for a different reason altogether. On June 25, 2025, the company COBCO officially began production of battery components at its brand new facility. COBCO is a joint venture between Morocco's sovereign investment fund, Mada, and CNGR Advanced Materials, one of China's leading producers of battery ingredients. Together, they've invested in a state-of-the-art plant that's expected to shape the next phase of global electric mobility. The factory is currently producing two of the most critical ingredients for lithium-ion batteries: NMC precursors and precursor cathode materials. That stands for nickel-manganese-cobalt compounds and other raw forms of battery cathodes. These materials are absolutely essential for manufacturing the battery cells that go into electric vehicles and stationary storage systems. The idea here is simple process raw materials like nickel, cobalt, and manganese locally, convert them into high-value compounds, and export them to battery manufacturers and automakers across the globe. Morocco, which already holds key resources like cobalt and phosphates, is now moving further up the value chain. Instead of simply exporting raw minerals, it's exporting processed, usable components that the modern world desperately needs. According to sources close to the project, once the plant reaches full capacity, it will produce enough material to power around 1 million electric vehicles every single year. That's a massive contribution to the EV market, which is already growing at an exponential pace worldwide, and the ambitions don't stop there. Eventually, COBCO aims to produce up to 120,000 tons of NMC precursor materials and 60,000 tons of lithium iron phosphate cathodes per year. That second product, LFP cathodes, won't go into production just yet. The company says they'll launch that phase once a robust regional battery ecosystem is ready to absorb and support it. It's a careful, strategic rollout rather than a rushed expansion, and that shows serious long-term thinking. But to understand why all of this is happening in Morocco of all places, we need to take a step back and look at the bigger picture. Morocco offers a unique combination of advantages that very few other countries can replicate right now. For starters, it sits just across the water from Europe, a region that's aggressively transitioning to electric vehicles. It already has well-developed infrastructure, including manufacturing hubs, highways, ports, and industrial free zones. And most importantly, Morocco has deep trade relationships with both the European Union and the United States, which gives manufacturers easy access to massive export markets. It doesn't hurt that companies like Renault and Stellantis already operate large auto production plants in the country. In fact, Morocco's automotive sector has been on a tear. In 2024 alone, the country reported a record 157 billion dirhams, or roughly $17 billion in auto exports. That's a 6.3% increase from the previous year. The EV sector is simply the next chapter in this evolving industrial story. What makes this even more compelling is that COBCO isn't alone. It's actually part of a larger wave of Chinese investment flowing into Morocco's battery ecosystem. Gotion High-Tech, a major Chinese-European battery maker, is already constructing Africa's very first gigafactory in the country. That project is expected to cost $6.5 billion and begin production by the third quarter of 2026. Two other major players, Heiliang and Shinzum, are setting up operations near Tangier. One is focusing on copper and the other on anodes, both of which are vital components of EV batteries. Meanwhile, BTR New Material Group is gearing up to produce cathodes, adding even more capacity to this growing cluster of battery production in North Africa. What's emerging here is a fully integrated battery supply chain that covers everything from mineral processing to component manufacturing and eventual battery cell production. And it's all being built in a region that was, until very recently, seen primarily as a raw materials exporter. Now, this is where things get really interesting, not just from a business or technology point of view, but from a broader developmental and geopolitical lens. The COBCO plant alone is expected to create around 3,600 direct and indirect jobs. But when you add up all the other ongoing battery investments, the total impact on employment could be far greater. And we're not just talking about factory floor workers. This kind of industry requires engineers, lab technicians, supply chain managers, quality control experts, logistics teams, and even software developers. What that means is Morocco's education and vocational training systems will need to evolve rapidly. New programs and partnerships will likely emerge to help equip young people with the technical skills required to thrive in this sector. And for many families, this could represent a path out of poverty and into the emerging green economy. More importantly, Morocco is showing the rest of Africa a different path forward. Instead of simply exporting raw materials, the country is building capacity to refine, transform, and monetize its resources. It's retaining more value locally and becoming an active participant in the global tech economy, rather than just a supplier at the bottom of the chain. And the timing couldn't be better. The global EV market is projected to hit over $1 trillion by the end of this decade. Every major automaker is investing heavily in battery innovation. The demand for components like NMC and LFP is only going to skyrocket from here. In this context, Morocco's strategy isn't just smart, it's visionary. Now let's talk politics for a moment. China's involvement in Morocco's battery push is not accidental. By setting up shop in Morocco, Chinese firms gain privileged access to European markets, bypassing the tariffs and logistics nightmares that sometimes come with shipping from mainland China. At the same time, they establish a solid footprint in Africa, a region that's rich in resources but often underserved by industrial development. So this is a win-win for both sides. Morocco strengthens its economy and creates jobs, while China secures stable, cost-effective production outside its own borders. It's a textbook example of how strategic investment can reshape not only industries, but entire regions. As for the rest of Africa, there's a lesson here. Ghana, for instance, has its own lithium reserves. Countries like the DRC, Zambia, and Namibia are sitting on mountains of battery-grade minerals. The question is, will they follow Morocco's lead and build the capacity to refine and export finished products? Or will they continue to let others take the lion's share of the value? This story isn't just about batteries, it's about agency, vision, and economic transformation. And it's happening right now, just a few hundred kilometers from the shores of Europe. So what do you think? Is Morocco becoming the Shenzhen of Africa? And could this be the beginning of a pan-African clean tech movement? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe to stay updated on more stories like this, because Africa is rising and the world needs to know. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.